Good morning, friends. I hope the frame looks okay because I cannot see a single thing, but welcome to a slow morning in my life. I am just getting ready for the morning. I'm already dressed. I'm wearing, you may have seen me in this exact outfit multiple times, but I'm just wearing these thrifted shorts that look like boxers, but they're not boxers, they're shorts, and a black tee that I think I got from Zara. This is what I'm starting with on my face. Going really simple today because I am actually off today, and I thought it would be the perfect day to film a slow morning routine. So I just put that on and then some sunscreen. Honestly, and I think that's mostly it. I have truly gone simple when it comes to skincare, and my skin is really happy about that. The Elta sunscreen is truly the one for my skin. I refuse to stray away now. This is just some bomb.com. It is the Wild Fig. I'm only using it because I have it and not for a particular reason. It does smell super good though. And then just some Glossier Boy Brow, just because I like to shape up my unruly brows. Okay, and that's truly it. Again, keeping it really simple. Where are my glasses? Gotta put my glasses on, of course, but the only jewelry I'm going to wear is my Aura ring and my wedding rings. That's it. No other jewelry. And then my watch, I have it on my stretchy band. I'm gonna put it on my ankle because I plan on going on my walking pad today. So yeah, that's it. Very simple get ready this morning, but let's get this slow morning routine started. I thought I was gonna make like a very ASMR, aesthetically pleasing yogurt bowl this morning, but I ran out of granola, so I cannot make that. And I did have this leftover breakfast sandwich that the restaurant that I got it from over the weekend, or the bagel shop that I got it over the weekend, they gave it to me for free, so that's breakfast. One of my favorite things about the morning is checking the little kitties out. This one is having a blast. Okay, she's having a moment, but anyway, you'll always find him in this spot on a summer day, specifically in the summer because it's so sunny and hot over here, and he could just lay here all morning, and he will. Okay, friends, we are gonna do a bit of a chit chat while I make my coffee. Hopefully this angle looks interesting and new, because I do want to try something new out. I figured I can just share some things that I'm working on, things that I'm excited about at this given moment, things that are just top of mind, things that are bringing me joy. Because I feel like I don't typically do this while I make my coffee, and yet while I'm making my coffee, there are things always just popping up in my brain because it's like the one time of the day where, I don't know, things move a little bit slower. I'm a little bit more invested and in tune with what I'm doing, which is kind of crazy to say, but these days, distractions are astronomical, and so saying that is actually kind of mind-blowing in 2025, but also I hope you can see what I'm doing. But basically, what is top of mind for me is my newsletter. actually, which is probably going to come to be a surprise for a lot of people because that's so random. But lately I have been called, and perhaps this is part of my creative slow living journey, but I have been feeling called to write. And I have to be honest with you guys, I haven't done any serious writing since I was in college. If you did not know, I went to college for creative writing. I got a degree in creative writing. Oh, that is always so hard to do. So yeah, also this is the coffee that I'm having. It's called Airship Black Apple Espresso. It has dark cherry, citrus orange, and dark chocolate. It literally smells like that. I got this from Trade Coffee, which if you want discounts for Trade, I love Trade so much, so I'll put that in the description. But yeah, I have not done serious writing since college, and there's a whole thing as to why that is. But I have recently been called to do that. Not called in like a, I don't know, spiritual way, but just creatively, my mind has just been going to this over and over and over again. And so, the one hub that I have where I can place my writing, like serious, long form essays, thought pieces, that level of writing, is through my newsletter. And so I'm definitely working on expanding my newsletter. And if you did not know, my newsletter is run through Substack, and I have been so inspired by the long form pieces. You don't see me, but I'm in my fridge right now. But I have been so inspired by these long form pieces on Substack, and I'm like, you know what? Maybe it's time. I'm feeling really compelled to write. I have a space for it. There's a lot of inspiration out there. Why not just give it a go? And so that is exactly what I plan on doing. I've been spending the past few weeks, let me get some ice. I've been spending the last few weeks just rebranding my Substack, redesigning it. I also need to get a straw. Redesigning it, rebranding it, just making it nice and pretty so that when I start writing, people will also feel compelled to actually stay. So that is what has been top of mind. Just revamping my newsletter and just getting this creative outlet out, because I think a lot of us tend to think if we are creative in a particular field, we are stuck in that one field. And you all probably know me as someone who is a watercolor artist. And I am a watercolor artist, but I'm also many other creative things. And you may actually be surprised to know that I was definitely a writer for a long period of my life, from my young adult life, actually. I do feel like I started on this earth as like a painter and a drawer and a doodler. I can go as far back as like kindergarten, first grade when I think about that, but I can also go just as far back actually, or maybe a few years after, where I started storytelling and writing and creating little stories actually. So you can be multi-talented, you can be creative in multiple fields, and if something is drawing to you, if you feel drawn to a particular area and you are a creative person, I say just jump into it, because limiting yourself and telling yourself, oh, but I'm a watercolor artist, or I don't have the time for this, or it sounds like a cool idea, but I don't know how I could actually execute it. You can. And I encourage you to just jump into it. Don't even think about it. Just truly jump into it, because you're doing this mostly for you, for that fulfillment as an artist. And it doesn't need to be perfect. It doesn't need to be like a best-selling novel, which I have actually told myself for a long time, especially doing a whole degree in creative writing and being around other people where their goal is to be a best-selling author, I have now shifted into a mindset where if I want to be creative and I want to jump into something that, feels comforting, familiar, but also brings an exciting challenge into my creative side, then I'm going to do that, and I'm just going to do it for the fun of it. Anyway, this is not to recruit you into having a creative life. You don't have to have a creative life. You don't need to be a creative person if you're watching this, although I'm sure we all have a little bit of creativity in us, but that's just what's on the top of my mind. And I might actually write a piece like this for my newsletter, for my Substack. So stay tuned, I guess. Yeah, this is pretty good. I know you must have seen when I hope you saw, I hope I recorded this clip okay, but I did not use the grinder on my espresso machine to grind the coffee to make this. I used pre-ground coffee because that's all I have right now, and it's not the perfect fine texture that it's supposed to be for an espresso machine, so it does come out a little bit weak. However, my machine is saying that it's pulling properly. I don't know, it just tastes a little slightly weaker than what I'm used to, but it still tastes good, and it still has that very fruity flavor, which is really interesting. It's very fruity. I did kind of an iced cortado, I guess you could call it, because I use half the milk with a little splash of hazelnut creamer. So it is always so cool to see my glasses turn into shades, and I always get confused whenever the world becomes tinted because I forget that they do turn into shades. But anyway, I have the mic really close to my face because it is so quiet outside, and it just makes me want to be quiet too, even though I really don't have to. But anyway, as you can see, I'm reading on my Kindle right now. I am reading The Cold Vanish. I forgot the author's name, but I'll put it in the description if you want to grab a copy of this. But it is nonfiction. As soon as summer started and I started hiking and started being outdoors more, and this is going to sound weird, but I really wanted to get into reading a nonfiction, true crime, people go missing in the woods kind of story. I know how that sounds. I know that's weird. Let's just say it's part of my Summerween vibes, but that prompted me to pick up The Cold Vanish. I believe it was free if you signed up for the Kindle Unlimited thing. So I picked that up, and it has been really, really interesting and really good. And it's basically I think it's a compilation of different missing persons stories that take place across the United States over the span of multiple years, several years. It's just a compilation of different missing persons case, but they all are set outdoors in nature, and it's kind of like when people go out, go for a hike, go do something outdoorsy, and they go missing. It's just extremely mysterious. Sorry, there's a plane. But yeah, it's very, very interesting, and you all know I'm a big mood reader. I like to read books that are set in the season that I'm in. So this is very outdoorsy, very summery. I shouldn't say summery. Summery makes it sound like it's a good thing, but it is set outdoors, and it just associates summer for me. So, in my weird, twisted way, this is a seasonal read. I'm so sorry if you think that's weird. It is weird. Okay, let's go check out the garden. I feel like I haven't given you a garden tour in a while, but we have a lot going on actually. Okay, my shadow looks really funny, but this is what the garden looks like. It is very wild, but I have been letting it do its thing, and that has been successful so far. So first of all, on the back left over here, those are heirloom tomatoes. Nothing has grown yet, but I've learned that tomatoes take the entire season, at least for me. And then over here on the front left, we have, I don't know if you can see those little peaks of flowers, but this is zucchini. And we have a lot of zucchini flowers, but no zucchinis just yet. This may also take the entire gardening season. And then over here, this is basically empty, even though you can see a lot of growth. But in the back, right, that's where our carrots were. They were ready to harvest, so I'll put something on the screen so you can see what they ended up looking like. But yeah, we pull those out, and they're really tiny, but they're so cute, and they're carrots. And then in the front right, that you can actually see broccoli there, but that is completely bolted broccoli. So basically when it bolts, and it can happen literally in an instant, when it bolts, the entire plant is not edible anymore. It gets really, really bitter. So I was able to harvest one head from there before it bolted, but then I think the very next day, everything else bolted. So this plant is basically not usable. So these two beds are now full of weeds and random stuff. We have some peppers. So on this left side, those are bell peppers. I don't know if I can show you. Hold on, let me get down here. I don't know if you can see that, but those are little tiny bell peppers. And then over there, these are, I know it's kind of blurry, sorry, but these are like jalapenos. So peppers are doing well. Peppers tend to always do well for me. And then over here, I had mentioned this in another video, but I made a DIY pool / hot tub, and it doesn't look really pretty right now because we have the cover over it and then rain kind of pulled into the top. But I will give you a better tour once I set things up. I do have some things that I need to build, like benches and stuff like that, to make this look a little bit more pretty, but that's what it looks like for now. I did bring out my monstera from the front of my house. This was inside. I had to bring it outside because Riley was eating it, and that is not good. So it looks a little messy right now, but she's still alive. And then I put a little walkway over here, and that's it for now. Again, I'll keep you updated on that, but oh my gosh, it is pretty hot already. It is morning time, but it is so hot. And there Riley is. She's always there waiting for me. Okay, friends, the AC is blasting. I think you can hear it in the background, but I just checked our thermostat. We are at 79 degrees in the house, and it is the exact same temperature outside first thing in the morning. It is the morning time, and it is that temperature. So I can only imagine where we're getting to in terms of temps today. I try, if I do have a morning like this, I try to spend my outdoor time early in the morning because I do know that it's going to get really hot and I get really uncomfortable, so I spend the rest of the day indoors and then I come back out in the evening time. So I think I'm going to end the video off here. I think that's kind of the gist of my morning routine. I'm actually going to jump onto my computer right now and start brainstorming some Substack stuff, some writing stuff, which I'm really excited about. By the way, if you are interested in that, I will link my Substack down below, but it's just Slow Morning Diaries if you go onto substack.com. If you do want to see some upcoming writing, you won't see it for a few weeks because I am really going to have to sit down and write, because I don't want it to be just a couple of paragraphs. I want it to be like a long, extensive thought piece, if you will. So yeah, you have some time to sign up if you are interested. But thank you so much for coming along this little morning with me, this little slow morning. Not extremely extended, to be honest with you, but I hope that's realistic. Even if it is a day off and I could technically have like a morning that lasts all the way into 12 p.m. But I just try to keep it real. And I hope you appreciate that. I hope you have a fantastic next few days, and I will talk to you in the next video.